Good morning, traders, and welcome to today's live trading room. Today is Thursday, 12th August, 2021. And today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of instruments that have got potential trade setups. And my name is Gerald. Welcome to all of you. So we're going to start by taking a look at commodities. We're looking at commodities, starting with platinum on the 1 hourly, right? On the 1 hourly, I want to show you guys the potential trade setup on platinum, which is supported by our strategy. Let's take a look at it. Right, so just trying to get my annotation too. There we go. So platinum bottomed here. If you check on the website, you'll see that we propose the wave 2 completed here already, and then it gave us this move, and then has now pulled back lower. It has given us this corrective structure there. Okay, and as it does so, it gives us the confirmation on the indicator on the 1 hourly at least. Okay, the trades, I think let me just put that line, the 50 line here quickly. Okay, so that's the 50 line. As you can see, the stock RSI is right at the bottom here, and the RSI is above 50. And it has given us this pullback here after this move to the upside, after completing wave 2 in that area there. Now, what we're looking for here is for it to break above the corrective structure, which is it's currently forming, and to continue higher thereafter. And this is what we look at as a trade setup confirmed by both indicators. Stock RSI has reset at the bottom, the RSI above 50, and the correction appears to be completed. What we would expect next is that after the correction breaks, once a candle closes above this corrective structure, around about there, then we take it with our stop loss just below the corrective structure there. Okay, so that's platinum. Let's take a look at the next one. That will be gold. Let's take a look at gold. Gold and silver are usually directly correlated. So they've both also, if you look at gold, also has reset quite nicely there in line with our stock RSI strategy. So this is the corrective structure we're looking at. Okay, I'm just trying to get my annotation tool here. Give me a second, guys. Right. So gold also reset. One second, please. There we go. Gold also reset. Okay, so gold also reset here. Stock RSI at the bottom, RSI above 50 very clearly, and the candle has actually broken out of the corrective structure. So this is the strategy we use or we follow when taking trades. So gold is ripe and ready for taking. There's a candle that closed within the last hour, closed just above the corrective structure. So gold, one can take it already with the stop loss a few pips below the flag there. So gold is ready for more upside. All right, so it would seem that this is all the correction that it gave us from this bottom, went up, gave us an impulse, and gave us a pullback. This pullback here, Something is not right with my annotation too, guys. Please bear with me. This is the pullback here, right? And then now we're looking for more upside. More like that. Okay. So gold is ready. Silver is also likely ready because it's directly correlated with gold. Just on the basis of correlation, one can expect silver to also almost do what gold is doing. So silver also, we would be looking at this section here, that corrective structure. The candle appears to have closed, has it? Let's just zoom in a little bit and take a look and see if it did close above the corrective structure here. So this would be the corrective structure, the boundary, just about. So I think gold is better compared to silver if one wants to look to trade this particular structure. All right. So a very good question there, asking what would be the target for gold? That's a good question there from Mikhail. So I'm going to quickly show you what the target for gold would be. Let's go back to gold. So we'll be measuring the equal leg of the impulse from the bottom to the first peak there. So the first target would be 1790. And that's the minimum target. That's a conservative target. Okay. On gold, if one enters it here. So it will be about 1790. That's about 40 pips from current levels, if my math serves me right. Okay. So that's the target on gold. Silver, pretty similar. Oil. On oil, it looks pretty tempting. I just want to show you on oil. It's not a trade setup necessarily, but it looks pretty tempting, but it's not in line with our strategy. It doesn't support our strategy. So you can see it gave us these 3 swings higher, 1, 2, 3, and consolidated lower, right? Broke above it, but the stock RSI has not reset as yet. And you see that whilst the RSI remains above 50, the stock RSI has not reset yet. So what we would like to see is both of them supporting the move to the upside. Although we called gold oil completed here, we had a blue box here in this area here. We bought this move, and then we expected this pullback. We got it, and now we have another move to the upside, got a pullback, and then we're continuing higher. What we would prefer is that once it clears this peak, it consolidates as it's doing, but also remain supported by our indicators before more upside can be expected. So basically what we're expecting here is a little bit of more consolidation, sideways move before we can get a move to the upside. This consolidation is likely going to reset the stock RSI to the bottom area for more upside. Okay, so this one, we watch out for it. We watch out for oil because very soon it's likely going to be a setup. iPhone, someone joining us using an iPhone, I believe, or named iPhone, is asking, did we say sell on gold? No, no sell on gold, rather it's a buy. Okay, we have a buy on gold and not a sell. So that's it on the commodities. Let's take a look at some of the US dollar pairs. We won't be going through all the pairs, guys. I'm just looking at those that which have a potential trade setups. So it's not all the pairs that have a potential setup. So let's take a look at Euro US dollar. On Euro US dollar, I see a small potential trade setup. A small, but that's a small move, guys. From this bottom here, from these lows here, one can see that we had what appears to be an impulsive move higher, right? And we are within a correction, and we would expect another impulse higher to at least 100% equal leg of both these legs here. And as you can see, the stock RSI reset nicely at the bottom, the RSI above 50. So this looks promising for a very short term upside before we can get a move to the downside there. Okay, so if one is into short-term moves, then one could potentially look at this particular small move on Euro US dollar, which would be the inverse of what one should find on DXY or the dollar index. Okay, so all indicators confirming this short move to the upside. We're just waiting for the candle to close outside the structure before one can take it, but the target should be equal leg of this move. Okay, right, so that is a Euro US dollar. I think the better one is pound US dollar. Pound dollar. So you can see what appears to be a very nice setup here on pound US dollar. We had a blue box setup in the past trading sessions where we saw this move. Let me just bring back the labels so I can show you the blue box. We had a nice reaction higher from the blue box here, this area here where my mouse is hovering. We had 5 swings higher, then we had 3 swings lower now in 2. Okay, we had 3 swings lower, so I'm just gonna do away with the labels again. So 5 swings higher gave us 1, right? 1 somewhere there in the white degree or the sub-minute degree. And then we have a pullback lower here, 1, 2, 3. Now you can see this is a clear impulse, right? A clear impulse to the upside, indicating that the pullback lower is completed or the correction lower is completed. And now we have a consolidation here, supported by the RSI above 50, the stock RSI at the bottom there, and it appears to have just broken. Just like gold, this one is a trade setup for more upside. All right, William asking for Euro New Zealand. Okay, I'll take a look at Euro New Zealand at the end. Okay, I must have taken a look at it and not found much that's interesting on it. We will take a look at Euro New Zealand. Okay, Mark there saying the stock RSI is at the top on the 4 hourly. Are you referring to pound US dollar? Okay, let's take a look at the 4 hourly. Stock RSI at the top on the 4 hourly. Yes, that's correct. However, if one looks at the sequence from the peak here, we have 1, 2, 3 lower. So this has to give us another 1, 2, 3 at least before we can get 1, 2, 3, if this indicates that we're still going to get more downside. Okay, but at least according to the 1 hourly, this move to the upside, it's very likely. And as I said, equal leg as the target, the minimum target as the equal leg area on the 1 hourly. Okay, so we don't use the indicators for analysis. We just use them for entry once they confirm with the structure. So on the 1 hour, this is a pullback, right? It has broken above the pullback after this corrective structure here was completed. It gave us an impulse first and then a pullback. And on the 1 hourly, they are confirming. It's a very important statement that Mark is making there regarding the 4 hour and 1 hour alignment. If there's alignment on both the 4 hourly and the 1 hourly, it's even better. It's even better. But there's instances where you find that the sequence has completed in terms of the count, and there's an impulse and a pullback and is confirmed on the 1 hourly. That could suggest that it's just going to give us this 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we want to take advantage of this move, right? So once the correction is done, as is the case here with pound US dollar. It's 1, 2, 3. Broke above it. We want to be in here. Minimum target is equal leg there. Okay. Minimum target will almost always be equal leg. Almost always. So that's a pound US dollar and US dollar Canada. US dollar CAD. It's also a potential trade setup to the downside, US dollar Canada. Save for the RSI. Let's put the 50 line there somewhere here. It's still hovering around the 50 line on the 1 hourly. However, the sequence to the upside, applying a similar logic that I've just applied on pound US dollar, we had 1, 2, 3 in 2, and then we have what appears to be an impulsive move to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a pullback higher, 1, 2, 3. That's a bounce. So this bounce comes with the RSI, the stock RSI resetting at the top, and the RSI still looks up like it's around the 50 area. So once this corrective structure is completed, we would look to sell US dollar Canada for equal legs of this move and this one at least. Okay. So that's a potential trade setup. Look out for this one. Similarly to what I've just shown on oil, these are the ones to watch out for the next few hours. Okay, there's a request for CAD Chief. We're going to take a look at CAD Chief there. We have reached target on CAD Chief as posted when the trade setup was ready. Mike asking, how about the flat correction on US dollar Canada? Which flat correction is that? I don't quite see any flat correction here, Mike. We were looking at US dollar Canada this way, that we are now in wave. We were making wave 4 there. Wave 4 there, and we had an impulse and a pullback, and we're expecting a continuation lower. I've already taken a look at pound US dollar. Right. So on US dollar Canada, that's what we are looking at. It's almost ready. Once this small corrective structure here, once price breaks below this small corrective structure here where my mouse cursor is hovering, would be looking to sell US dollar Canada. Okay, guys, I wouldn't be able to take a look at all the pairs. I'm taking a look at only those that which have potential trade setups. A request like pound Canada, Euro New Zealand, CAD Chief, we had a trade setup which has already reached target. I'm going to take a look at CAD Chief. It's on the instruments which I was going to take a look at today. Okay, so the actual analysis for coming up with the trade setups, we do it during the LTAs. Okay, I know we haven't had many of those in the past week, including some days of this week as well, but it's because one of our staff members isn't well in health, as you guys already know. Okay, so right, so let's carry on. US dollar pairs done. Let's take a look at some of the yen pairs, those that which have potential trade setups. Okay, so here is a US dollar yen, where we have had 3 swings lower from the peak. We've had 3 swings lower from the peak, and this is the 3 swings that I'm referring to. Here we had 1, 2, 3. Then we had an impulse here. Okay, so what is likely going to happen is that we're going to get a 1, 2, 3 pullback, maybe to 50% of this area, of this leg, before we can get a move to the upside. So if one was thinking of selling this, I wouldn't quite recommend doing this or selling this short move to the downside. Just like on Euro US dollar, it's a very short move. I think it's better to wait for this correction to complete. Okay. And in which case, the chances are we will be having a support of our indicators, the stock RSI resetting to the bottom, the RSI picking above 50, so that we can take that or take advantage of the potential move to the upside. Okay, so that's a potential. Let's watch out for this one. This pullback, once this pullback is done, okay, then we can look to consider buying US dollar JPY. Pound US dollar appear to be a slightly better option. Slightly better option. As you can see, the okay, we've had a blue box on pound yen rather. And this was the blue box from this peak here. We had 1, 2, 3 right into the blue box. And then after that, we've had this impulse here. This impulse here. And then we had a pullback. 1, 2, 3. And now we have another impulse here. Then we've got this consolidation. We're going to zoom into that consolidation and see. And you may already be able to see that the indicators are supporting a move to the upside here on pound yen. The stock, the RSI just above 50. The stock RSI has resetted there. So what we're just waiting for here is structure to confirm. In other words, once this small corrective structure, it could either be this one that breaks or this short one here that which breaks to the upside. Okay, then we'll be looking to take pound yen to the upside. The target, as I said, will almost always be equal legs. So what will be the target on pound yen? From the bottom to the end of 1, back to 2. So we'll be looking at around 156. Okay, it's about 300 pips from current levels. So we're looking for pound yen to give us that move to the upside. Okay, so as I had said, the structure yet to confirm, but it's almost there. But the indicators have already confirmed that we are expected to continue higher. Okay, that's pound yen. CAD yen. Okay, on CAD yen, what we are looking for here is that from this low, pretty much similar to pound yen, we've had this 3 swings lower where there was a blue box. We had a 1, a 2, and then we have another internal 1, 2. So a break above this, we'll be looking to take it to the upside. However, on CAD yen, we don't have the confirmation from the indicators as yet. So what are the probabilities here? Okay, there's a good question there on pound yen, whether there's a potential for a flat correction. Okay, we'll take a look at that just now. Okay, so CAD yen, from here it gave us 1, 2, 3. That came with a reset of the stock RSI at the bottom there. The RSI, however, was not above 50. Let's just get that 50 line back again. It keeps disappearing for some reason, some odd reason. Okay, so what we would then expect is that once this particular corrective structure is done, this could just be an ABC WX and then give us a WXY like that before we can go higher. In which case, we would expect the RSI to peak above 50 and the stock RSI to reset lower again, should it give us a larger correction before we get a move to the upside. Okay, so that is the potential trade setup on CAD yen or the yen pairs. Okay, so there was a request on the US 30 and the NASDAQ. Okay, I'm gonna go and take a look at the indices now. The indices are bullish. The indices are bullish long term. Okay, there's no reason whatsoever to sell any of the indices. Any proposed pullbacks that we show on any of the indices is not an indication that one should look to sell, because the indices, the stock market has been bullish and it's almost always bullish. So the request on the US 30, I'll just, and the NASDAQ as well, I'll just take a look at the NASDAQ. I mean, look at the NASDAQ here. I'll just take a look at the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ here. We've had higher highs and higher lows like that. From the lows, if one takes a look, let's say from the daily, let's look at the daily time frame. We've been making higher highs and higher lows ever since. Even if you go to the weekly, you'll find the same picture. So the indices indicating or confirming a sequence to the upside, having recently broken above the previous peak there, making all-time highs. We are expecting it to continue higher there. Okay, so all indices across the entire globe, be they US indices, Japanese index, the JPN 225, the EBEX, ASX, any of them, they are all bullish basically. Okay, so taking a look at the NASDAQ on the 1 hourly, what we would expect, what we had forecasted, as you can see, is that we expect a slightly larger correction in 2. I just wanted to look neat, so let's get rid of the labels. Okay, so what we're expecting here is that it's going to give us a slightly larger correction here before we get a move to the upside. However, it doesn't have to give us that. So it could just be a 1, 2, a lower degree 1, 2, another lower degree 1, 2. So a nest for more upside. Okay, looking at the indicator, RSI is below 50. Stock RSI has reset, so it doesn't support any potential trade setups at this stage. Okay, the one that might have a potential trade setup here, I thought would be the S&P 500 cash index. If you look at the S&P 500 cash index on the 1 hourly, right? Although the structure is not so neat, but the indicators here show that we are ready for at least one leg higher, the RSI being above 50 here, and the stock RSI having reset there. But the structure, as I said, is not very neat. Not very neat at all. So the preferred structure here would be a clear pullback, such as this one here. A clear pullback in the form of a zigzag, something like this, right, is what we would prefer to see before we take a move to the upside. Okay, because this could just be a leading diagonal, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, 5. You find that it's doing this and it wants to pull back lower before we get that move higher. Okay, so the indicators, although confirming more upside, we don't have a structure that which is neat and clear to show us where we can enter and place our stop loss levels. Okay, so that is the potential index that has any trade setup on it. So there was a request on pound CAD, now Euro GBP and Euro New Zealand. Okay, let's first take a look at pound yen. One of our traders asked if there's a possibility for a flat structure on pound yen. Okay, so I think what I believe that our member is looking at pound yen this way, that we had a move up, then we could have a potential flat structure like that. Yes, it's possible. If that's how you're looking at it, it's possible. However, the indicators, as I said, almost confirm one more to the upside. So there's a chance that it can give us that flat correction as our members viewed it, but the indicators almost confirm, and structure also one more to the upside. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna look at pound Canada, euro New Zealand, CAD CHF. Okay, next. So let's start with pound Canada. Pound CAD. Okay, so on pound Canada, what we were expecting here is a move to the downside. Right, we're expecting a move to the downside on pound Canada. Give me a second, guys, please. Something like this. We're expecting a move to the downside before we can get a move to the upside there. It's within a triangle. If one takes a look at the forecast on the website rather, we're expecting one more down before we can get a move to the upside, but it's not a trade setup. As you can see, the stock RSI and the RSI, all of them high up there. Okay, so no trade setup on pound Canada. On euro New Zealand, also, although this looks corrective, the current price action looks corrective in this area here. The RSI is above 50. The stock RSI is also at the top there. So no trade setup necessarily. And in any case, what we are expecting structure-wise on pound, on euro New Zealand rather, is a move to the upside. Okay, so we expect that after it gives us this 1, 2, 3. That's not what I'm looking to do. After it gave us this 1, 2, 3, then it gives us this 1, 2, 3 lower, and we're expecting higher. So no trade setup on this one at all at this stage. On euro New Zealand, on CAD CHF. CAD CHF was a very nice trade setup. I posted it. It should have been on Monday, the beginning of the week. The target was 100% equal legs from this low here. And we have reached the target. It's consolidating. Remember, the target that we give is a conservative target on the basis of 333. Okay, let me just quickly remeasure the target again. This is the blue box, the former blue box. We had two blue boxes. We had a blue box. When was this? At around the 19th of July. And we had another blue box here. I'm going to show you just now. So the first blue box was when price reached this level. The second blue box was when price reached that level there. Okay, I want to do away with the labels and just go through CAD CHF, which has a potential for more upside. Right. Right, so CAD CHF. Right, gave us this 5 swings higher from this low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pullback lower in 3 swings. That's why we had our blue box. We projected the target to be equal legs of this area. It has rattled the target, now is consolidating for more upside. So because this is 1 and that is 2, this could be 3 itself, and it could be consolidating for 4 and 5, or it could just be giving us 5 swings in 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a pullback lower. Okay, so this consolidation here, although I see that consolidation that has a potential to give us that trade to the upside, it could just be giving us the 5th wave in 3. If this is 1 and that's 2, it could just be giving us the 5th wave in 3 before it consolidates or pulls back lower in 4 and then 5 higher. Okay, so at this stage, I personally don't prefer trading the 5th wave. At this stage, this was the nicest area to enter. This was posted in the week. And we've gotten all these, it's over 100 pips already. So I would personally prefer to wait for it to give us the fifth wave here to indicate that 1, 2, and 3 are actually complete and give us a pullback lower like that. Okay. And the larger the correction for 4, the better, before one could even consider taking a potential trade for more upside in the fifth wave. Okay, so a Catshift, very nice. If you want to enter it, be very careful because it can just give us one up and then a larger pullback lower. All right, so that's Catshift there. Let's see. On the cryptocurrencies, there wasn't much really except for Ripple. Ripple appeared to be the only one that had a potential trade setup on cryptos. If one looks at Bitcoin here, you look at the indicators here, they confirm nothing, although the structure appears to be a flat correction in this area here, but the indicators don't support any trade setup. So it's Ripple only that really has a supported structure and a potential trade setup to the upside. Okay, I'm sure you guys can already see what I'm referring to here. Let's take a look at Ripple. We've had this move to the upside, right? We have now a pullback here in 3 swings, broken above it. Stock RSI reset at the top of, at the bottom here with this correction, while the RSI remained above 50. Okay, so Ripple, one can take it to the upside. There's a request for Euro Pound. Okay, let's take a look at Euro Pound. Was there a trade setup on Euro Pound, guys, that was given during the week? Euro Pound here, we are expecting more downside on Euro Pound if one looks at the larger time frame. We're expecting it to come lower. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, we're gonna get, it looks like we're gonna get more downside on Euro Pound, if anything. So from this peak here, we've had, or we are expecting 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3 lower. However, it should not break lower than this, because lower than this level here, because this is the beginning of the swing to the peak from here to there. We're looking at this as 1, and we're looking at this pullback here as 2. Okay, then we're going to expect a move to the upside. So what we are looking at currently, it's 5 swings in wave C of 2. What do I mean by that? Let's quickly clarify that. Let's go on full screen. All right, so from the peak, as I said, we have 5 swings here. We have 5 swings here, and then we had 3 swings higher. Then now we have 1, 2, 3. Then we're looking at this as a potential 4 and then 5. So that becomes A, B, and this is C of 2. Remember, this is 1, and then this is C of 2 before we can get a move higher. However, this is our invalidation level. It shouldn't go lower than that. Okay, that's the view on Euro Pound. And basically, that's all the pairs that I have for you guys for today. And I would like to thank you guys once again for being part of today's session. I hope you trade safely, and cheers and bye-bye.